Are we back on? Don't know what happened there. The game crashed, probably. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of the underscore, but this is not going to be a phoenix. Instead, let's see here. How about... Quick, give me a name. Because I'm going to create a character. I'm also going to use a preset just to have my little fun. But give me a name, folks. I'm not exactly going to name the character after myself. I want this to be an escape from reality, not a constant reminder, you know? How about... me... ja... me. Me, Jimmy. Right, eye color... Let's give him nice red eyes. Eyebrow color. Let's go with some black hair and stuff. Voice has already been selected. So, let's start the game. So, this game will start slow at first. a bit of a helping hand. So when you unlock this stuff like this, now first you start with a primitive workbench, stone axe, stone pickaxe, handheld torch, a wooden club, and a pile dressing facility. Which, by the way, everything in this game is called a pile. And this person right here, you can talk to, and they'll give you some starting supplies. When you pick up wood or anything, your stats will increase. I recommend building up your work speed first. Now, when you make your first base, you want it to be on someplace nice and flat, but has easy access to other materials. So I'd recommend picking up some things first before you make anything. Ooh, look at that. How lucky are we? A POW sphere right at the start of the game. With a POW sphere, you can use it to catch any POW that you want. But it's basically you against the world. So, I would recommend making a wooden club. You'll need a weapon and for most of the game. But as you level up, you gain technology points. I recommend buying everything that costs 1 point first. And once you start getting the 2-point stuff, start buying 2-point stuff. But make the cloth outfit as quickly as you can. Also, focus on stuff that'll help you survive drops. So, in order to make cloth, you need wool, which is what you can use to get the cloth outfits. Now, why am I telling you to focus on getting a cloth outfit? It's simple. Once night hits, let's just say, you're not going to like it. It's colder at night than it is at any other time of the day. But luckily, there's a sheep right here. Now, when it comes to the fights, this is what it's like to fight without any strength boosts at all. You basically have to focus on not dying, and it's basically just survival of the fittest. Now, it's best to keep some of these piles away from each other. But your best method would be to catch them. As you can see, that brought a big level up to my ranks. So now I can actually craft a bat if I so wish. So, now I have 11 more points I can put into stuff. Trust me, you'll need some of these things. So, after you've collected your first POW, they'll do the fighting for you. But, in this game, it's not as simple as get a POW and you don't have to feed them and stuff. You still have to feed them and you still have to give them proper working stuff. And you can engage them with other POWs and have them fight. So now we can craft cloth. And while our POW is fighting in that chicken, we can craft our first our first piece of gear. The cloth outfit will give you protection from the night. Now, of course, fighting pals with your bare hands is not a good idea. But it's also not a good idea to let pals jump off cliffs. But it's dangerous to fight pals with just a wooden stick. So you need to make a bat. How do you make a bat? First, you need an axe. Once you have that axe, you go over to a tree and you chop it down. Now, you need to make a pickaxe. How do you get a pickaxe? First, you need some wood. After you have that wood, you grab some stones. Also, make sure you pick up these berries. You'll need them. Now, I need one more stone, but I don't have anything to do it. So I'm going to punch some stone and get myself a pickaxe. Now that I have a pickaxe, I can mine stone. And now I can make a power box. Wait a minute, why am I so slow? Oh, I get it. I must pass my weight limits. When you pass your carrying capacity, you won't be able to move as much, but if you're carrying too much heavy stuff. But now that I have a bat, I can get rid of my wooden club. And now that I have a bat, I can take on some pals. Well, a little bit better than usual. But as you fight pals, you want to be careful of your durability. Everything can get damaged, and when it gets damaged, it won't perform as well. In fact, it won't even perform. But I'm going to make a base at the top of this hill. So, now that I have a base, I need to make some beds. Because if I plan on making a pal work here, I have to have proper living conditions. So, now I can go into here, and I can make this little hairball work for me. So, they need jobs that they are capable of doing. But we need to make a feed box. And we're going to need some wood. But I might hear one of the obvious questions is, why didn't I wait for a better location? It's because this is a stream. It's meant for entertainment. Working a little slow. Probably a slacker. Heh. Well, I'm going to make a feed box. Now, for a first time thing, you'll want to be a bit scarce with your food. So now I'll craft a berry plantation. Now, you can toss some seeds into your red berry plantation. As you're planting, you'll be able to water it. Once you're done watering it, you may notice that your work speed is lackluster. Well, you can enhance your work speed by a little bit, and that'll make it so that you do things a bit faster. Once you're in the growth phase, that's when you will need to rely on your pals to carry some of the extra work. But if you check out the survival guide, you'll be able to do some stuff. But we need to stave off our hunger a bit. Now, we need to eat regularly. But we also need pals that can work for us and do things that we probably won't want to do. So, what the heck is a common shield? You'll get that later on. But you need a lot of things before you're truly ready to have well, regular workers. But you may have noticed that there is a lot of infrastructure and stuff in this game. That's because this is basically what they call Pokemon with guns. That's the common joke. But here's a repair bench. You'll always want this with you. But this will be used to repair your items. Now, they want us to make a wooden chest. This is for your storage side of the game. Because you're not going to be able to do most stuff without storage. Because you can't just carry everything on your shoulders. That's not the aim of the game. You need to have proper storage. Because this will allow you to store every single usable item in this game. And it'll also set up some auto points just because. But as your base upgrades, is you'll be able to have more pals working for you. But that requires more beds. And we kind of need some pals that can mine. So, we're going to need to go out into the dangerous world and try to defeat and capture as many pals as possible. Ooh, merchant. The merchant here will sell you some items, but it requires gold. I did get gold. You sell stuff. But they have to be of value. If you were to say put in some poultry or eggs, you'll get a little bit of gold. And you can see the value based on the value that's said down there. But right now, it is not useful to trade stuff into that guy. Now here's a weak lamp bell. 33% catch rate. So we hit on it a little bit. And now it's a 100% catch rate. Once you've caught it, you can go around and collect some more. Also, watch out for high-level enemies. They will kick your ass. If you hit from behind on an unaware pal, you have a chance of catching it. But if a pal hits another pal, they'll suddenly be distracted. Once you've caught some pals, you can send them out to act as distractions for aggressive pals. But why do they have you catching the same type of pal over and over again? It's because it gives you a bonus. Looks like night is setting upon this world. We'll have to be careful of any dangerous pals from here on out. Also, whenever you see a pal sphere on the ground, that's good. Pick it up. Now, what's with these? This is pallumium. Palladium fragment. Or palladium ore. Now, here's a lamp bell. They're both at the same level. So, we attack one and send out our pal. As we beat on. And this guy, if we throw the pal ball, we have a chance of failure. But with every successful shake, that percentage goes up. Now, we've caught 5 pals of the same type. Our experience for catching these pals goes up. But what were to happen if we were to say to kill a pal? It drops not just wool, but also mutton. And your level goes up a bit. Now, if you don't have the right tool for the job, don't worry. Handheld torches. These things can be pretty useful at times. They ward off darkness and help you fend off the cold. The cold is basically your limit on how cold you can let yourself get. That's why they made you craft some cloth. Now, pals will always sleep at night, and it's suggested you do too. So I have 4 lamp balls. As you can see, there's the giant tree, but we can't get there yet. We don't have a flying pal that we can ride. So for now, we need to craft ourselves a little base. And this is where the foundations come into play. Now, I'm just going to make a simple 4x4 foundation. And these are going to be surrounded by wooden walls. However, I'm going to have one window right here, and on the opposite side as well. Now, of course, you need to be able to get into your base, so I'm going to make a wooden door right here. Now, we need to add the roof. This is a slanted roof. Now that we have ourselves a fully furnished base, we can head outside, get some wood, collect these berry seeds, go inside our little base, and craft ourselves a bed. Now that we have a bed, we may sleep. Once the night passes, you can head outside and upgrade your base. Now, for this, they want you to craft free straw pal beds. Problem is, we barely have any workers. At least unique workers. So, we're going to have to go out and collect some more pals. Now, some pals are more skittish than others. But, what we really need is a parachute. So, I'm going to craft another piece of cloth and craft myself a parachute. Because with the parachute, I'll be able to survive high jumps. Once you've captured Foxparts, unlock the harness in the technology screen and craft it at the PAL Gear workbench. But they also want you to craft a normal shield. Why do you need a shield? Well, it's because some pals will hit hard. But, what do you need for a shield? You need 10 palladium fragments, 20 wood, and 20 stone, as well as some fibers. So I'm going to pull out my pickaxe and run away on this stone deposit. As you can see, I'm getting not just stone, but also paladin fragments and ore. And since there's a chest right next to me, I can deposit this stuff in there. Now, I checked the recipe again. I just need some wood. So I bring out my axe and start cutting down on this tree. Now I go over to here, and I don't have enough wood. Stupid game making me work with my stuff. Anyways, now we have ourselves a common shield. This shield will protect you from damage. Now, the shield isn't permanent. It can and probably will break. It repairs itself automatically, not taking some damage for some time. So, now what? Now we have to make a bow. Because we're not going to be able to fight stuff from up close like this. We're just too weak. Why am I using a pickaxe to hit a tree? So now that the tree is destroyed, I'm going to go back over and harvest my... Actually, I'm not going to harvest my berries yet. Instead, I'm going to put away my wood and stuff. Now I go over and look at my options. Then I craft the old bow. This bow gives me a ranged option, but that also means you need to start making arrows. Now this is where automation comes into play. By increasing your work speed, you can make things faster. But if you have a pal working for you, you can have them make these things entirely on their own. And they won't even complain. But the more they work, the lower their sanity gets. Which means you have to deal with making stuff for your pals just so they can survive. Now we immediately unlock the free shot bow, making our old bow redundant. But we need a hot spring. Because the pals by themselves can't handle being without a way to relax. So we have to make a hot spring, but now we need pal fluids. What are pal fluids? It's a reward you get for catching some pals of the water variety. But we need to do some serious work. Now, the arrows themselves will get automated in due time. But for now, this is the best that we can manage with our limitations on pals at the moment. As their sanity decreases, they'll start slacking off. But if we help the pals work, their sanity goes down less. Because they aren't having to work as hard. Once you get all the arrows you need, you look at what materials you need. Since we need wood, we gotta cut down trees. By cutting down trees, we allow ourselves the ability to craft the triple shot bow. Now, of course, higher grade items require more time to complete. Now, with the free shot bow, we can immediately replace our old bow. Oh, hey, look! It's a pal that actually works on mining. We should catch it. Now we've caught a different pal. But, now that we have up to 5 pals, any more that we capture will automatically be sent to the pal box. But luckily, we don't need that right now. For now, we just have to make a second bed. Why? Because now we have a pal that can mine. So, we spawn in the cats. And we go immediately to work harvesting in red berries. When berries are harvested, they'll be collected by the pal in her feeding box. And you can place any materials inside the box, and you won't have to worry about it anymore. Out of sight, out of mind. But we need more workers. We need something that can cut down trees. We need something that can automate tree work. But how? I don't see anything around here that can cut down trees. That's where you really gotta look long and hard, because sometimes the pile you're looking for is right around the corner. Here's a pile. And it seems to have 2 elements. So I'm going to catch it. As we beat this thing with a bat, like sometimes you want to make throw chances. Now, we got a new pal. But, we're pretty far away from our base. That's just a slow and steady death. Oh, shit. Do not fight that guy. You do not want to fight enemies that are much higher than your current level. That is literally suicide. Ah, I'm surrounded by a bunch of chickens. The bat is the strongest melee weapon you're ever going to have, by the way. Well, not exactly true. There's also spears, but the bat is the strongest weapon that you can defeat, or you can get on your own at the start of the game. I just think it's getting washed away. For certain rivers, you are going to be carried away by the stream. Being wet makes you slow. So don't be wet. So you may notice that you will end up getting quite a bit of things, including what they call metal weapons. But you need a high quality workbench to make them. You need a primitive furnace just so that way you can smell ore that you get. We also need nails to make a said high quality workbench. And it all comes together from there. As you start getting items, you'll eventually need a sphere workbench to make the mega sphere. And you'll even gain access to crossbows. It all just builds up to you have an item that you can craft. Unlock the technology points for it. Now that you have the points, unlock it. Now that you have it, you can check out everything. This guy has the planting quirk. So, we can use him to automate planting. But that isn't good enough. I need something that can cut down trees. But that's the point of exploring. As you explore, you gain more stuff. Everything in this game you can collect. It's just a matter of, will you collect it and how you do it. So, as the cat here is mining, the stone gets dropped. The sheep here finds those items and then collects them, placing them in a chest. But the best way to actually be strategic about this is first, don't pick up more than you can carry. Instead, make some chests around the areas where there's going to be a lot of stuff. So now you can open up. So now you can pick up those heavy things that they can barely carry. So now we're experiencing our first slack off. And the problem is, we can't do a thing about it right now. We don't have a hot spring to be able to mend in the pal's needs. Which means we need to collect a water pal. Where can we find one? Well, they normally get seen around on areas like this. With water. However, I don't see one. That's because they're further down. Oh, hey, what's this? Looks like it's something that allows you to increase your ability to catch pals. That's sweet. But we need a penguin. Woo! There's a firefox. Aim for headshots. Our main goal is to damage the pal. If you catch it unwillingly, if you catch it unknowingly, you have a better chance of catching. Oh, we got some flame organs. Oh, I spy with my little eyes something that can actually mine trees. So we bring out our POW and engage in battle. Now we let our POW do the work, and we reap the rewards of catching. Fended off the spear. So we gotta give it some more damage. We want to be careful of that boss over there. That boss will kill you. Now, of course, how do we beat it? Well, you might not have been listening. It will kill you. Gosh darn it. Gotta call my power away from that guy and drag this guy over here. Oh, gosh darn it, cheeky bastard. Problem is, I don't have any more balls. Luckily, I can just kind of find some laying around. Kind of. You see, the chances for some spears to be lying around is kind of common and uncommon at the same time. Ooh, chest. Ooh, what's this mega sphere about? I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna throw a spear at this cheeky bastard. Now it just wants more of a beating, huh? Oh, 100% catch rate. Now this deer can actually mine trees. That's right. It can break trees. So now we must head back to base. Whoa, what are all these ghosts doing here? Well, this is what happens at night, folks. You get to meet up with some strange entities. So now we make our third bed. And bring in our deer. So as you can see, my bat is doing pretty low in durability. So, to fix it, you need to have the proper materials. So now it's morning. And you can sort of see how the automation process just does itself in. So, we're going to need a chest that's specifically designed for wood. But we still need a hot spring. Otherwise the pals themselves are going to get a bit anxious and start slacking off. But what are with these flame organs? Well, a lot of it is simply because they are needed, in a sense. But now we can create our next bed and welcome in and another carrying pal. Well, actually, not even the... Yeah, it is a carrying pal. But now we also get to add a Foxparks to our team. As we make these lambs, just pick up stuff, they'll take it to a respective chest. The closest one with similar materials. And they will always do this, no matter where or when. Now, the cat here doesn't have anyone to put stone in the chest. But as they're making all this stuff, it's your job to keep in mind what commodities you need. So, you're also going to need a furnace. As you build a furnace, you may realize you need a fire type POW. So, we take one, remove a lamb, and now we have a fire type. And we can make ore, or go into ingots. And eventually you can get this entire process automated into where you don't even need to do a single thing. But you still need to have a spring. Heat-resistant pelt armor. But we can only make cloth outfits, right? How do we get a better working bench? Well, look here. You need ingots to make nails. And luckily, we have ourselves a little fox helping us take that exact item. So we take 4 ingots, go over to our workbench, make ourselves 8 nails. As we craft these nails, as you'll realize, we might actually have enough to make a better bench. And you'd be right. So, once we're done making this, to preserve our materials, we will go into build, disassembly mode, and disassemble the old bench. And then realize that we need more. Or so we immediately go back into making the primitive workbench. So we have 8 nails. We just make 1 more set of nails. But wait a minute. Didn't we need some iron? Didn't we need some ingots as well? You'd be right. In order to make the high quality workbench, you need 15 ingots. But that also means you no longer need your little workbench. Your primitive workbench, actually. So now you put all the wood and stuff, including the things that you need, inside of the chest. And now, you need to find some ore. Where can you find ore? It's right outside your base. Now, a good location to build a base would be right here. Plenty of flat ground. A good site. You plenty of trees and stuff to break. But what about your previous base up there? That's the thing. Depending on where you build your base, you'll have certain qualities that you will not have anywhere else. Some places may only have stone or wood, and a decent supply of them too. Some might come with an ore area. But no matter what, your job is still to go out and collect these items. Because that's your job as the leader. You have to be able to go out to collect the items that your base needs in order to upgrade your little base. Now, your journey list here will actually tell you to capture or subdue or kill or whatever, or any type of enemy out there. Now, your foxworks will need something to do. So have them make ingots for you. Because it'll use whatever ore is in your base's inventory. But that's of the time of crafting. Now, of course, because this stuff has all my rocks, I'm going over here to put in all my wood-related items. So, I'll place the rocks in here. I'll place the horns in here as well as stuff that's created using those rocks. So right now, I have 5 ingots. In order to make my high-quality workbench, I need a 15. Which means I have to wait for this to go up to 10. But once I make my high quality workbench, it will be done for today. So it'll take a bit. And no, the only way you can speed this up is by using the appropriate stuff. Now, of course, your own Pokemon will actually, not Pokemon, your own pals. But if you summon them, will help out. There's no other way around it. They're going to help out. Oh, look, a saddle. Alright, now I have enough for the high quality workbench. It takes a bit longer for it to put together, but once you do, you've got yourself a high quality workbench. But that also means higher quality. The items are going to take longer to craft. But when you do, that means you can replace your previous gear. And this one specifically, he warms you up. But that's a problem. We don't need to be warmed up. We need to stay chilly. Because at night, we're going to freeze. Which means we need a campfire. And making a campfire is simple. Just need a little bit of wood. But where's the best place for a campfire? Well, that's for you to decide. For me, it's going to be right here. Now, we're getting somewhere. Now that we have a campfire, we'll be able to stay warm during the night. But that'll be it for tonight. Next time, who knows? Might play this again. In the meantime, I've been ACMS Gaming. And this has been Palworld. And we'll see you all next time. Good night.